welcome to another episode. I'm probably going to title this one Experiments and Fails or something like that. Basically, I'm going to have a go with, and you'll probably hate it, but I'm going to have a go with paper mache as an experiment for forming mountains and stuff like that. What you see in front of you, I've got some newspaper to one side, toilet roll to the other, cheap stuff, and I've mixed up some paper mache liquid batter or whatever you want to call it, and what I'm going to do is basically just experiment which is going to work better, if at all, on either. So half is going to be newspaper and half is going to be the toilet roll. You can see from the form I've just very quickly cut it with the hot wire cutter. I'm not the arty one, Grace is going to be doing the proper stuff. I'm just having a mess about, see how it looks. What I've done is mixed flour, water and a bit of PVA glue. And this is already falling apart in my hand. This is great. You can all have a chuckle at this afterwards. Please bear with me, as I said, this is purely experiment. It's just on a rough piece of board. A few bits of foam that come from the initial the initial inclines before I decided to change to the proper ones. I imagine you're all cringing right now, but bear with me. As I said, I am brand new to this. You are more than welcome, as always, to hit the comment section. Either say don't do it, or it looks horrible, or if you've got some better advice on how to do it, if any of you have used papier mâché, any sort of feedback, even if it's negative, I'm not bothered, because as I said, this is all new to me. But I'm not thinking about how wet this is going and how much it's slitting. I don't think the toilet paper is going to actually hold up. I'm going to try and get rid of all these lumps and bumps in a minute. Well, I did mix it up properly, but clearly not completely. I know some of you are going to say about using like the proper stuff for it, or plaster, or the plaster that, you know, the same stuff that you get when you break your leg. I have seen those kits and they're not too bad, so I'm not going to say no to using them. It's just I want to try this first. If it goes well, I'll save myself some money. If it doesn't go well, I don't think it's really cost me anything short of the packet of flour, I think it is basically. Because obviously your water don't cost anything. A bit of PVA, we've all got PVA glue lying around the model railway, haven't we? So, but yeah, feel free to laugh. I know if any of you watched the most recent live with Grace, quite a few people had a laugh on that, usually at my expense. But I'm very much one of these that's, if you can't take a joke, then don't give them, sort of thing. So if you want to have a laugh at my expense with this, feel free to. I'm not bothered. Take the mickey or anything like that. I'm not your expert YouTuber or anything. I'm certainly, like I've said already, I'm not your expert railway modeller either. This is actually swimming. I think I'm doing too much. It's already starting to go wrong. Right, I'm going to leave that as that. And this bit, I think this is going to go terribly wrong because the toilet paper is just going to fall apart on me. Yeah, it's fallen apart. Absolute fail. So I don't think we use the toilet paper. Or can we just sort of stick it in? Yeah, let's carry on with the newspaper, I think. Yeah, so I've already learnt one thing: don't use toilet paper. Either that or I'm using the wrong cheap toilet paper. It's literally one of these ones that's £1 or so from Asda and what have you. So maybe I'm using the wrong toilet paper or something. So I'm just going to carry on with the newspaper. Sorry if my head's in the way. It's not a pretty sight, but let's just see how this goes. Obviously I've got to wait 24 hours or so for it to set off, and that's when I'll do the next bit of the video, is when this is... Ooh, lost the newspaper. Lost the newspaper. The next bit of the video, once it's dried off, maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Anyway, I hope everybody's keeping okay. Thank you to all our followers, new and old. We did have a bit of a laugh the other night with Grace's Live, continuing on with my dad's fire station. It turned into a bit of a comedy, which I'm more than happy about, because I don't take life seriously very well, to be honest. Only when I need to. Otherwise, why not have a laugh? Oh, get too much water there. And not enough there. Oh dear. Oh, this is going wrong. Spread that about a bit. Try and mop up some of this paper with this, maybe. Mop some of this up with the paper, rather. But yeah, going back to Grace's, we had a few join in, and you know who you are. The ones that have been joining Grace's lives quite often. Many thanks for the comments on that and the laughs. It really is appreciated, because I'm sure she said it, the actual the fire station is very important to me personally, because of Dad being a fireman for nearly 20 years. If anybody knows Wales, in the early 70s there was a huge fire on Britannia Bridge, which at the time was just a rail tunnel, ironically. Two young lads were going through the bridge. It was a covered bridge, and they went through it with lit torches. And obviously with the old trains going through, it went up in flames. Dad at the time was based in Bangor Fire Station, that's Bangor, North Wales. And he was fighting the fire from the Bangor side, while there was firefighters from Anglesey fighting their side as well. I didn't realise until a couple of years ago how dangerous and how much at risk their lives were. But yeah, Dad did that. He joined the RAF. He was a firefighter in the RAF. Finished his service, and sadly got dementia, which is a horrible disease. I'm sure some of you will all understand it, and no doubt you'll know someone that's been affected by it. So because this was Dad's shed, the fire station is pretty damn important to, well, not just to me, but to Grace and to my mum as well. So that fire station is it's not the centrepiece as such. I suppose there is a centrepiece in a model railway layout, though some may beg to differ. But yeah, I can't wait to see that completed. She's got a couple of other Metcalf kits she's going to do as well. I've got a tunnel to do that John very kindly bought me, another Metcalf kit tunnel, which it will be going excuse me, underneath one of the raised areas in the park corner. I think I'm going to leave that at that for now, rather than go over the top of it and just see how it dries. But I put some more around there maybe. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, that's long history of the fire service with Dad. Major respect to the fire service and the ambulance and the police, of course. Ambulance a bit biased because that's what we work in. But they all risk their lives to go out to others. Yeah, I think I'll leave that at that now. So let's leave that dry off for the next 24 hours and see how it goes. I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, thank you. Hey all, and welcome back. This is the disaster zone. I did rightly entitle this as Experiments and Fails. Not impressed with this at all. It looks like a pile of rubbish, but I had to try it, and as I said, it only cost me a bag of flour. So, nope. So what I've been doing instead today is, with the inclines, obviously with ballasting, unless you actually seal them, the ballast is just going to fall down the gaps. So the tops of the inclines I have just basically sealed with a sticky tape. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do stone walls, retaining walls coming up the side here to just about above the height of the track. I think it works out to about 3 foot stone walls all the way along. Just in keeping basically, as I say, with the 80s style in Wales, because obviously in Wales there's a lot of stone walls. And I've been messing about with the cork underlay as well, putting what I had left of that down. And I've also gone back to using the tile adhesive to stick it down with, rather than PVA, because it tends to stick it a heck of a lot better. So that's what I've been doing today. Nothing exciting in this episode, I do apologise. Also, oh yes, and I've also been having a little bit of an issue with the old girl, with her derailing. Took some advice off one of the forums on the Facebook. So the carriages each now have a small tyre weight inside them to weigh them down, and also the front and rear bogies were just basically falling off the rails constantly. So John's suggested washers to tighten up the front and rear bogies, and they're now thankfully staying on the rails, so she's no longer derailing with the carriages and she's running like a dream. So sorry it's such a short and boring episode. No major developments, so I don't see the point in dragging things along. Hope you're all keeping okay. Please drop some comments in on your suggestions for doing these hills, regarding plaster, etc. Or if you've got a slightly better way of doing that. Poor excuse for a result. Anyway, take it easy. Wish you all the best. Catch you next time.